Hello and welcome. Welcome back to Reddit City. Today you're coming to see some of our friends on Reddit talk about their wildest fears that you never thought about. And be sure to give a like and subscribe if you haven't already. Enjoy. Falling while ice skating and my fingers getting cut off by the person behind me skating over them. I saw this happen at a beer league hockey game once. I need to unread this. Same. I'm never going ice skating again. This happened to me. Only one finger, and it didn't cut it off, just sliced it open enough to need stitches. Funny enough, I ended up working at that same skating rink years later and saw a few such accidents, but none resulted in the loss of digits, if that's my consolation. Being forced to make the decision between suffocating in an empty SCBA or taking a breath of air in a smoke-filled building. So either suffocate or burn my lungs so they turn into mush that drowns me as the alveoli rupture from the heat and my trachea swells shut from the edema. That I'm afraid of the dark, but not really. Just being in a small room with places to hide, like my bedroom, hearing the littlest of noises that make me jump every time even when I think what it was logically, even with the light on and just seeing random figures that I keep checking. Being alone in said room. A whole lot of things, but the strange thing is that with people in the same room or just a dark room and a closet like area doesn't scare me at all and or I go to sleep. The only way for me to go asleep easily is in a room with a nearby populated area, living room, or keeping the lights on to sleep, or else it would take me 20 to 40 minutes to sleep late, which is practically early in the morning. Is it just me who has this type of thing? So many things. Having a small spider crawling on my eyelashes. This somehow happened once. I'm assuming because the universe actively fucking hates me. Been afraid of it ever since. Deep sea anglerfish. I won't go in water that I can't see through because they are in the water and no amount of scientific fact or logic can convince my brain otherwise. Also, water babies. The ones that are in Utah or something and will lure people by crying, then grab them and drown them. They're also in any body of water I can't see through. Here's the one that's difficult to explain. So, our reality is one of many. Someday, our reality will become temporarily entangled with a different one. The consequences of this are dire, such as us dealing with a dead space type situation, or St. Aldrich setting up shop, or people being murdered by possessed animatronics. While these things are mere stories and creativity in our reality, they've been made real in other ones, and it's only a matter of time before we encounter them. To be clear, I rationally don't believe any of this. It's just a thing my brain likes to freak out about. A guitar string snapping and hitting me in the eye from tuning it the wrong way. My grandfather, who is an independent guitar teacher, once told me a story from when he had just started teaching. He had a teenage assistant who was helping him with classes and a student needed their guitar tuned. So the assistant starts tuning and isn't paying attention, and she doesn't notice that she's turning the peg the wrong way. She's not looking and keeps turning the peg because she doesn't know why the string won't sound correct. Well, she turns the peg a little too far and the string gets a little too tight and the string snaps. It hits the assistant right in her eye. I've always hated injuries that involve eyes a little too much, and some metal wire with all that tension built up in it whipping it into my eye is an absolutely horrific thought. So basically, that's it. Sorry about the brick of text. Dead trees in water. The worst is the ones that have lost their branches and stand in shallow, wetland type waters, but any tree in water will do. It feels similar to how trypophobia makes me feel, but much worse. It feels like looking at a void or death or something. I've had a lot of nightmares about it, but I'm not really sure where it stems from. I have automatnophobia, the fear of dolls and mannequins. Every time I see them my whole body shudders and I have trouble looking away because I feel like it's gonna move and come attack me. Like its hand shifts into a spike that it's going to stab me with. And so, I refuse to go to the mall alone because I feel like I'm gonna have a panic attack. I can't go to Old Navy because the mannequins are the worst out of all of them. And I can't stand porcelain dolls or anything like that. I get the overwhelming feeling that they are watching me and judging my every move, waiting for the perfect time to come closer and make me panic just to watch me suffer. Lucky for me, it's easy to avoid doors, and mannequins are becoming less and less of a problem the older I get. They still freak me out, but not as much as when I was a kid, where I once had to be helped out of a Sears by security because I refused to leave the changing rooms. All that time I went Old Navy and I turned around and there was a mannequin right in my face, so I punched its head off, and that's how to be banned from both a Sears and an Old Navy. I am afraid of swallowing part of a long hair and having to pull it out of my throat or swallow it. Last time it happened it triggered my gag reflex and I just threw up everything. Injections. Not needles. Injections specifically. You can draw blood or anything by the hectoliter, but try even a smallest injection and my fight or flight goes overdrive. And I don't even have an idea why. Never once had a bad experience with injection and I am 40. Choking on pills. Every time I take medication or vitamins, no matter how small the pill, I have this deep down fear that I will choke on it. I do that every time I take any pill. It takes forever to take them because normally I'm sick when I need them, so I'll have an emotional breakdown for literally no reason except that I can't take the dang pill. Long story short, I am one of the people who just grit their teeth and kinda die. I have a fear of falling backwards off of things. Walking on a balance beam is fine. Heights are fine. Balconies I could jump off of are fine. But being on the back row of a choir riser puts me in panic mode. Escalators are my nemesis. I white knuckle the rail and probably lean toward 45 degrees. Public and colored toilets. It takes me a while to get comfortable with a toilet. I'm always scared that it's gonna get clogged and overflow. It just terrifies me. Thanks to that, I can hold my pee in for 14 hours, which is probably really bad for me. But I've been doing it since I was a kid. My grandma told me that when I was little, 2-3, I wouldn't shit on the toilet unless she smacked my back. I literally try not to pee when I go to other people's houses because I don't like their toilet. I remember being in India when I was 7 and I had to find a neighbor who had a western toilet and not in a weird shape to take a shit. My life's a mess cause of it. Moths, I don't know why but they just feel so disgusting. I was driving during the night once and the biggest moth I'd ever seen started flying around me in the car. It was so horrible. Getting hit by an invisible car while crossing the street, I don't know either. I always listen really carefully and look both ways a bunch of times, then listen again before stepping out. One of these days, some motherfucker is going to invent an invisible machine and then use it on a car, and I refuse to be the poor sumbitch who gets smushed by it. For me it's dropping my phone in water because this is my first phone and I think I'm a little too protective of it because yesterday I was at the dock and I was holding my phone so tight I thought it was gonna crack when the others on the dock nonchalantly pulled their several $100 phones out by and over the edge, when I'm just in the middle clenching my $54 LG Fenix 4. What is something that you have a crazy fear of? Let us know down in the comment section. Be sure to subscribe and like this video so Reddit City can expand to something greater. Thanks for watching, and have a wonderful day.